for Voices of Liberty. Should be singing in about 5 minutes. Thought I'd turn on early to make sure I can get this thing to work. If anybody can hear me, can you let me know if you see this stream? It would be good to know, because all they do is flash these crazy warnings at me all the time. They tell me. So if anybody's out there and can tell me that the stream is working, it would be appreciated. And I'm not wasting my time here. Voices of Liberty at 1:45 Eastern, obviously. So in about 4 minutes. Right in the rotunda, obviously. Cooling down because it is brutal out there. Had a nice meal at Tidbit from the French food and wine booth. Very nice braised beef with these sort of like I don't know, puffs of some sort. Very nice, really good though. Very tender beef, nice gravy sauce, and with Cabernet sauce, and these little like I don't know what I would call them, but they were like bread puffs of some sort. It was very nice, a bready puff, but very nice, kind of fried up a little bit. It was very nice. And I had, of course, the famous Grand Marnier slushy to accompany that. So it was good. It was good. Three minutes. Okay, is anybody there? Anybody hear this? Anybody see this? It'd be great if somebody could see it. You can sit anywhere you want.
Thank you.
I bet.
I get down and might not get back up.
I know the ceiling. Trust me, I do.
The floor's cool.
Oh yeah, but it's cool enough in here.
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice, relaxing atmosphere, so everything's good. I tell you where you can sit on the floor. Wow, nice. Here they come. Big cutie pie. I'll never get up again.
Or you can stay exactly where you are.
That's good, right here.
Or you can if you're happy, we're happy. But if you change your mind during the show, feel free at any time to come up close and have a seat. It won't bother us a bit. We'll be sharing with you some of our favorite folk, patriotic, and Americana music, and I'm sure you'll recognize the next song right away. to sing with us. You're going to know the words to this song, so folks, sing out loud.
That's a voice. That was very nice. All right, people, that was Voices of Liberty, of course. I will be moving on now, but I have to put my sunglasses on, so the phone's going to move about a little bit. Please be patient with me. I need these sunglasses. Okay, we're back. Sort of normal as I can get. So we're going to move on here. A wonderful performance, always is. And we're moving on down on my journey. Say hi. We're going to make a star out of George.
All right.
And here we go, folks. Here we go. On my slow journey towards France. I'm shooting for France. I know they have one at 2:15, but I'd be rushing to get there for that one. So I think I'll shoot for the 2:45 for the French movie. Meanwhile, I'm going to stall a little bit by going to a couple of pavilions before that. And spend some time at the French pavilion also. It's, some of the more lovely pavilions coming up anyhow. So this is a good thing. A very good thing. So, as we approach Japan, I've got just an amusing little story. My youngest son, who has become a manager of a very large catering company in our city, thinks he's really a hot shot about food now because he's a manager of a catering company, and it's a good one, trust me. And they do some excellent food and have some pretty incredible clients. But that being said, he thinks he's an expert in all things food now. And we were at Morimoto's over at Disney Springs our first day for lunch. And it was a wonderful experience, very good. He was his little picky himself, and he had ordered bao buns and was complaining that where their catering company, closes and seals the bao buns instead of leaving them open-faced. And he was really kind of, that's just not the way it's done. This is a Chinese delicacy. It has to be closed. And I said, really? I didn't know that, because most of the time I've seen them, they've been open-faced. So we went to the China booth, where we talked to an actual Chinese person, and we got the bao buns, and they were open. And my son said, aren't they supposed to be closed? And she said, if you were in Japan, yes. You should have seen his face. It was the best. Yeah, he thinks he knows everything, it was really great. Spaceship Earth. This is really a cool shot all the time. This is really lovely. This is a lovely one too. Japan. I don't think it's as lovely as China, but it's lovely. And the drummers are cool. I always get a kick out of the drummers. Remember, back in the day, the drummers it's always been all female, but that's not the extraordinary thing, because we know they've been female for a long time. But they've acquired a sense of humor in their routine now that they didn't used to have. They used to be straightforward, pretty serious percussion and boom, 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 and that's how they start now. But they've added a little sense of humor, twinkle in their eye kind of thing in their act. Yeah, that's really good, lady. Nothing like casual racism. I'm moving away here. I'm moving away. Bunch of drunk sorority girls. The only ones who think they're a lot of fun are they themselves. And of course, the famous store. So I was told the story by the manager of one of the managers in this store. This was a few years ago. I don't know if it's still true. But the people they send over here are from Japan. The sales associates here, the sales CMs, I guess, are all from Japan. And they work at the store in Japan. And in order to get this gig, they have to be on a high performance level. The best of the best are sent here as sort of a reward for their good service at the stores in Japan. I don't know if that's still true, but it was a few years ago apparently. And I think that's kind of a nice reward, Trip to Disney World, well, they got to work, of course, but they get playtime too. And that's pretty cool. I think it's really cool. This is a cool store. This is really a cool store. This is not your typical store, Disney World store, at all. At all. It is very Japanese-oriented. In some cases, obviously, it's Americanized Japan, but in many cases, it's pretty authentic stuff they have here. You can get a samurai sword here, for crying out loud, which I think is amazing. But they have some really good stuff here, and some really attractive things and items that are quite nice. Now, this is a nice clock, and quite frankly, I would have expected it to cost more than $150. So that's $79. That's not bad. It's a very attractive clock. I don't think that's a bad price at all. But what do I know about clocks, right? Of course, they have an assortment of fans, chopsticks, And of course, kimonos. Hello. Japanese culture. This country. It's really lovely. Wow. Just beautiful stuff. Wow. Very beautiful. Hi. Footwear. Amazing. Yeah, back here they have food items also. So, snack items and stuff. Mostly Japanese. Most all of it Japanese origin. Some tea service here. If you're to traditional Japanese tea ceremonies, they got you covered here. I have a very, very good friend of mine that I grew up with from Japan. Well, his parents are from here. I think he was born here, actually. But maybe he was born in Japan and came here very young. I can't remember which. But his parents do traditional Japanese tea quite often. And quite interesting. The tradition behind it is really interesting. You get sake over there. In that booth over there, you can get sake. And here's what I told you, chopsticks. All kinds of chopsticks. And here's the cheater's chopsticks, I call them. The cheater brand of chopsticks. I'd say like a couple of hundred different types of chopsticks there. It's really quite extensive. Bonsai plants. Our starter kit and everything. And the instructions and how to care for them, and of course some fully grown that you can also purchase. I don't know why. Maybe it's not American enough for them or something. I don't know. Well, like I said, here's what I told you. I promised you. They have is samurai swords. Right over here. Now these are locked up. These are all locked up, of course. And again, they're surprisingly not as expensive as you would expect. Like this one, the long one, is $150. It comes with the scabbard and everything. It's I don't think it's that bad a price, to be honest with you. They have some shorter, of course, shorter knives and stuff. But you can see these are quite extensive. They'll deliver them to your hotel too, but not the swords. You gotta pick those up yourself. They will not deliver those to your resort. I'm sure there's a good reason for that. I think we all can think of that good reason. But yeah, that would be a difficulty. I think somehow you'd have to ship those. I don't know. Would airplanes take a samurai sword? And I will never have the occasion to do so. So I don't know. I have no clue if you can ship a samurai sword on a flight back. That's actually an umbrella. Believe it or not. It looks like that's the hilt of a samurai sword, but it's an umbrella. Kind of clever. And of course, here's Americanized stuff. The salespeople here are very interactive, to say the least. Very interactive. They love to do. They used to have a pearl thing here, and the salespeople that did that were very demonstrative, really fun. But they don't do that. They used to be like right around here. And they don't do that anymore, apparently. But that was really cool. They get all excited. To get people really revved up. It was quite quite fun. Japanese culture is an interesting one, to say the least. And the queen of kitties in Japan, Hello Kitty. And from my visits there, it is every bit as big as you would think it is. Every little kid there has some reference to that cat. I'm not quite sure why. But like I said, Japanese culture is an interesting one. Yeah, I'm not thinking they would either, John. But I was surprised how inexpensive I didn't think $150 for that particular sword I showed was all that atrocious of a price. I thought, wow, that's not as much as I thought it would be. Especially at Disney World, I was surprised, to say the least. It's not like I'm interested in one. I don't know anything about them. But at the same time, it's a pretty extraordinary looking thing, and I was surprised it was only $150. And that was the most expensive one. So that's very interesting to me. See, they have the version of the teriyaki chicken bun. That's their version of a bao bun that my son used to think was Chinese, which is actually a Japanese. When they close them up, it's Japanese. We're approaching my favorite pavilion. As anybody who's done these with me the last day of my trips around World Showcase, and that's Morocco. There's nothing exciting about Morocco. There's no ride. There's no attraction. Well, you see Jasmine and Aladdin on occasion, of course. That's pretty exciting, I guess. But that's about as exciting. And they have a nice band and a belly dancer on occasion. But it's not like there's a huge ride attraction there or anything of the sort. They have a couple restaurants. I think the one here on the lake is a very nice restaurant. We ate at Marrakesh just last night. That was the first EOE event. And it was good. I had been there a couple times before, and it was all right, but I thought it was much improved. And I'm telling you, if you need to eat somewhere, it's a place you can get into without a reservation most of the time. It's really nice, and it's a beautiful restaurant, absolutely stunningly beautiful restaurant. You can't do much better than that place as far as the look and everything. And you get a small band that plays traditional music and a belly dancer that performs, I'd say every 20 minutes or so. And she's very fun, and she tries to get people to dance with her and stuff. And boy, do they celebrate birthdays there. They have some very interesting stores with some really fascinating clothes. Some of the dresses, I don't wear them obviously, but I always think they're really lovely. The dresses here, and the other thing to me is they look extraordinarily comfortable. But not being a dress wearer, I could be way off. Somebody could tell me these skirts and stuff, flowing type of stuff that they have. It's really quite lovely. Tangerine Cafe is one of my favorite counter services. And you get a ton of food. Holy cow, they give you a lot of food. They don't chintz on the food. But, it's unusual, too, for Americans, I would say. Food. They don't sell burgers here or anything. So some people avoid it. But every person I've ever brought here who was reluctant to come liked it after they did. So, just saying. I know it's lamb, but there's lots of lamb. But there's chicken. Chicken's quite a common dish. Moroccan American, the coolest stores, I think, in Disney World are in the World Showcase. They're unique. They, especially, like I said, in Japan and Morocco, China. Some really unique items that you can only get from those countries. And they have these like open air markets back here. And you go back here, this is one of those places I tell people about. This is the entrance to Restaurant Marrakesh back here. But it's pretty quiet back here. And it's just so beautiful. It's just so lovely. I mean, here's the entrance. And we walked in. We walked in with 15 people last night. And we had a reservation. We were late, of course. We're always late. But we could have probably not. We probably didn't need the reservation. It was not all that crowded, to be honest. Not all that crowded at all. And it's a shame because it's a nice restaurant, beautiful restaurant. Now, I had that seafood bastilla as an appetizer. That's lovely. I suggest that strongly. It's really good. The soup is good, but I wouldn't have it in the summer. It's pretty hearty. And I had the beef couscous moradiza. Right on the top there, like one of the couscous dishes. Really lovely, really lovely. It was really good. People had a lot of. Fizz had one of the lamb grouper dish. Yeah, that one right there. And they said it was really good too. I don't know who else had what. I know my wife had the beef, the short ribs, mishu satay, and she liked that a lot, very much. So they have beef, although beef's not a traditional meat there. They do have some beef dishes here that they Moroccan up, as I like to say. They add Moroccan spices and accompaniments and stuff. Like mine had honey and raisins in it, and the couscous, of course, which is a traditional dish in Morocco. I think everybody knows the story of the building of this pavilion. It was one of the later pavilions. It wasn't the first one built. It was put together by a group of Moroccan artisans, non-Disney artisans. Well, at least supervised the construction of this and made sure it was authentic. This open air market thing here is really cool. I really like it. It's like you stepped into Morocco here. It's just lovely. And the traditional music and such, and they have these little nooks and crannies and rooms off to the side here with lots of different items. Hi, how are you? They have henna applications here too. Anybody want a magic lamp? Like I said, they Americanized some things. I remember we had a Moroccan waitress a few years ago. She said, really, magic lamps are not a thing in Morocco. They're just like anybody else, capitalizing on the Aladdin thing as much as they could, because it was a popular thing, especially a few years ago. But still. But they were pretty happy that Disney made that animated movie, because it helped their pavilion out quite a bit. Just like what Frozen did for Norway, huh? Norway was not one of the most visited pavilions, and all of a sudden, boom! So now you can't get a table at that restaurant. It's the alternative to the castle at the Magic Kingdom.
No, you don't.
The band's out here now. This Moroccan group is really, really good. I was talking to one band. As some of the other Jewish sects, for instance, I would think Morocco is like that. You know, they're kind of like the Reformed Jews of the Muslim world. That's a much more relaxed practice of the Muslim faith. They are very, very faithful, generally speaking, but they don't interpret things quite the same way as some of the others do. They're not quite as severe as some. We as Muslim, some people think very strict Sharia law stuff, and Morocco's not like that at all. They were just. I remember we came shortly after 9/11, back in the day, and the Moroccan people in the Moroccan booth were just abhorred, and it just affected their pavilion big time. Some people would, actually swear at them as they walked past. But some of the members, and tough time for them that they're just coming back from now in the last few years. It was a tough recovery period. The pavilion suffered just as much as any Muslim in America did. Go to 2 points now, here and across to Canada. That's you can see the other one right across the lake there. There used to be a third one, I think, somewhere. I can't remember where right offhand. But they just go back and forth between the two spots now, which gets you from one side of the World Showcase to another very, very nicely. If you really want to, it doesn't save you so much time as it saves you effort. Because walking all the way around is, you put in some miles when you walk around World Showcase. You do. You get your daily walking in, for sure. There goes the boat over. He just left the Morocco station here and heading over to the Canadian area, which is some time in the pavilion. Then I'm going to go see the movie, and then I'm probably going to head back to the resort because I am really beat. This is brutal. I was here earlier over in Future World doing some rides and stuff, but I didn't bother streaming because I don't even know if this stream's working. I surely didn't think that it would show up here. Anytime I'm indoors on rides, it just doesn't go. Did Test Track, and I did Spaceship Earth, and I did Soarin'. The highlights. The restaurant here is nice, very nice. There's an upstairs restaurant that's even fancier, I guess. The view here is very nice. You're right on the promenade here. If you score one of these window seats, it's one of the greatest. Oh, over there, that bridge leads you to the International Gateway. We'll walk over there in a minute. Take a look at that. I got a nice little fountain here. And again, this is a lovely little area too. If you look straight down it, again, it looks, very, very nice. They have a very nice garden here. I think France and England both have very nice garden spots in their pavilions. And the UK, I shouldn't say England, have different little kiosks, not kiosks, but little areas set up that have different perfume flowers set up, and they have a little thing where you can smell what that smells like. And they feature along here, they have the plants, those specific plants planted there, which is really nice. It's really pretty cool. If you're allergic to perfume, however, this is not the place to be. As we behind me here, that's the story. No. this this place or these flowers. Well, she's allergic area here. Usually Aurora a lot. Some others occasionally. That cat that's in the white cat. What's the name of that white cat? I forget. is here sometimes too, but Aurora's here a lot. They even have a schedule out there for Aurora. She's by the French Pavilion quite often. The other day I saw Aurora by the Imagination thing. What she was doing there was autographs and taking pictures. Quite interesting. So here you have what used to be my favorite area that they're now tearing apart, the International Gateway area, which is now over there. You see the construction over there. You see those green walls? Now that is building a new ticket and security and check-in area for the anticipated increase in guests because of the gondola system, which is running today. They're testing today. I think this is a good day to test it because the winds are pretty brisk. I think it's a good test. You can hear. There's a good look at them coming by. And I gotta admit, they move at a little better pace than I thought they would. They look pretty secure up there. I'm still skeptical. There we go, the Friendship boat leaving, heading off to Boardwalk right now, first, and then the other resorts. And this used to be like my favorite area, and I don't know what they're going to turn it into. There's this construction, and Ratatouille's right on the other side of this wall. They're building the Ratatouille ride, and that new restaurant. There's a new restaurant going up in France too, so they're building two. Hollywood Studios for a while with everything there, but now they're turning their attention to completely revamping Epcot. The entrance is totally under construction now, and of course Future World is really going to be no more. They're turning that into like 3 different areas. Part of it might be a little bit Future World, but drop to Epcot, getting off and going to Epcot, or the other direction here, of course, getting on to return you to your resort, if that's Caribbean Beach, the Riviera, Art of Animation, or Pop Century, or you're going on to Hollywood Studios. You can take that. You can do that too. You have to transfer, I think. So somewhere I read you had to transfer to do that, but I could be wrong. I'm wrong very often. But yeah, a lot of construction going on here. It's a totally different thing right now, and you can see all the construction going on over there. That's to the Gateway. So we'll see how that is. I'm at Boardwalk a lot, so it's going to affect me. I'm just kind of spoiled with International Gateway because it's always easy to get in there. It's very simple. It's just the 4 resorts, and that's it. And used a great deal. And that's where Impressions of France is. That's where I'm headed soon. At 2:45 is the next show. It's 2:33 now, so about 12 minutes. Hi, hello. Of course, they have the window displays that are very quaint. And there's the fancy dance, Monsieur Paul. That's upstairs. That's above Chefs de France, basically. There's a couple window views that you can see illuminations pretty well from there. But there's only like 3, I think, if I recall. And this place is... This is the place that really kind of is. Yeah, I know. Well, when you think about it, John, it kind of makes sense because of where they're located in relationship to Epcot. it makes sense that they go there. And they had the space, of course. They put the station where the the turnaround spot for the old trams that used to take you from Yacht and Beach Club. That whole area is gone, and they replaced it with that station. They had the space for it, and it's kind of a straight-on shot from here to those other resorts. So, you could see it coming. Once I heard about that, I said, they go right over the parking lot at Boardwalk. It's more of an effect on Boardwalk Inn than it is on the villas, quite frankly. But still, it's an effect on the whole place, the whole area, because it's going to affect the comings and goings at Epcot for us quite a bit, I think. But they'll probably have more gates and stuff, and more security, and more ticket entrances, and all kinds of stuff. It's really absolutely great people watching. If you're a people watcher, that's a great seat door. They have a nice ice cream store over here, a sorbet. Back, I'm probably going to score some Hills Creamery, the one that's on. So I'm going to go into the air conditioning and hoping that helps cool down my phone a little bit. I'm at 32 right now. I should be able to get through the movie with that. 18-minute film. Sorry, go ahead. That's cool. Hi, I was just looking at the sign. Is cool. Oh, it's nice and cool in here. I'm just going to shut up and show you this stuff because I don't know much about it. So never fear, people. There are still places that you can learn stuff at Epcot. Although Disney's trying to take that stuff away more and more, because as the dumbing down of America continues. But there's still a sneak stuff like this. And it's here you architecture lesson or two. And as everybody knows, nobody does architecture better than the French. If you don't believe me, just ask them. Hi. This is really... right away. So it wasn't as big a deal to me. That's the Mediterranean area, so I've been pretty much there in France, not in Paris itself. But the one time when I was young and it's stupid and absolutely could not fathom what I was looking at. Typical teenager, idiot. Complete moron. I don't know why I'm fascinated with gargoyles, but I am. I know I'm kind of hanging in around this gargoyle display a lot, but maybe since the Disney film where they featured gargoyles. But the principle of gargoyles is interesting to me, how they came about. and how they were used and what they were supposedly used for. We're 5 minutes away from the movie, guys, just in case you're wondering if there's anybody there besides John. I don't know. I think he went only one. Yeah, I would be too. I mean, like I said, the amount of damage. A friend of mine, I think people don't have any idea how badly that place was damaged. I mean, it was near collapse. That's how bad it was. It was. From everything she said and learned, very risky work to save it. I don't think people realize just how much they had to do that. So hopefully, I don't know how long, many years. It's going to take a long time. Same at all. I'm plugging in some. Come on.
This movie received beautiful landscape appliqué music of great French composers such as Claude Debussy, Maurice Ravel, and Camille Saint-Saëns. In a few moments, this automatic door will open, so please make sure to stay behind the yellow line until you open for watching. We please ask you to do not smoke and use a flash photograph inside the theater. For our guests traveling in wheelchairs, please use the far left door and have a seat on the top row. And if you have a stroller, please come to me and take the secret door. Yeah, let's go!
The secret door. Okay, John, here we go. The music is about to begin. I'm going to do what I always do, walk over to the front and go to the other side where there's a lot more room. Everybody goes on this side. Tell you what, these chairs aren't as. It's nice to have chairs, but these aren't nearly as nice as the old-time movie chairs they used to have in here. They're nice, but these aren't. They're more practical. But I used to love those old chairs here. They were so comfy. There we go.
As a courtesy to those around you, we please ask you to turn off your electronic devices and do not use a flash photography during the show. If for any reason you need to exit the theater, please use the door on your left. We now proudly take you on a nostalgic tour de France. We hope you enjoy the classic beauty music and romance you see from Paris to our countryside. Et maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, nous avons le plaisir de vous présenter Impression de France.
Nice.
That's pretty.
Among gentle spirits of the air, my soul awakens. The true heart of my country grows from the toil of her people, from villages and family farms of the most fertile land in all Europe. grounds of Versailles, a magic window onto a golden age of kings. In distant towns, in quiet villages, within the heart of all my people dwells the secret vagabond. Faraway places yet unseen. We say in the words of our great poet Baudelaire, et sans savoir pourquoi, disent toujours, allons. They live for the sake of living, and without knowing why, they always say, we must go. Riviera, full of grace and symmetry, rooted firmly to the ground, yet dedicated to the spirit. From the cold green north they come, to the golden glow of the Riviera, where warm winds kindle dreams of eternal spring.
There you go,
Welcome
John.
back, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed this tour of France. Before you leave, please make sure you collect all your belongings and then exit through the open doors to your left. Have a wonderful day on our World Showcase and throughout all Epcot. Thank you.
Still got it. I'll be signing off. Heading back to my resort, which is just a short walk away. And getting on the Tragical Express and heading back to Reality World. So, thanks for watching. Especially you, John. And I will see you, you all back in December. We'll be back in December. Hopefully streaming. Definitely streaming. I should say hopefully. And do the holiday season here at Disney World. That'll be fun. I'm sure. So, it's really nice. Thanks, John. I hope to have that too. We will see you, John. We gotta hook up at Disney World sometime. All right, we will see you guys. We'll see everybody in December. I'm signing off. My phone is running out of juice, and I gotta go. Thanks a lot, everybody.